The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code NBA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL and the WNBA with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. I wish you guys could have heard Scott's pre-show rant about how Clemson can't score in the red zone, and they're not.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. They're not going to cover the spread. And they've dominated the entire game. It's ridiculous.
He's also like, he's not showing the emotion that he was showing pre-show, and that's why it caught me off guard, because Scott will rant and Scott will talk about things, and I'll let Scott do his thing and listen. But it's normally just monotone Scott. Scott might have dropped a couple of F-bombs. He might have.
I think it's definitely accurate. I mean, look at the yard differential here. It's insane. They should be up by 30. But
oh man, I wish you guys could have heard him say it before we went on air. Like, I wish that part was recorded, because that version of the rant was absolutely hilarious, and you guys really, really missed out on a great thing, and I'm so sorry for you. I really, really am.
Just for reference, by the way, they're outgaining Florida State 452 to 203. They have 250 more yards, and they're up by 13. They've settled for, 6 field goals in this game? 6? It's disgusting.
Oh, man. But, you know what's not disgusting? The 2.5 was for shits and giggles. Lock Minnesota plus 2.5. You can keep the points. We didn't need them. We took them anyways, just to say we did, but we didn't need them at all. And for the dog, I mean, Scott, we need to get a new drop. We need a victory lap drop, and it's a drop that, we only bring out in special occasions when we're just completely 100% right about things. And I have to say, Scott, not to toot our own horn, not to brag too much, we've successfully handicapped, I think, the first 3 games of both series. We knew how it was going to start. We kind of saw how things were going to go. And I mean, Minnesota just, again, another game that Minnesota's dominated. And then the Aces, the mailing in of that game in the second half was beautiful by the Liberty. That was a textbook. We do not care. Aces laying 9.5 plus 250. That cashed as well. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what is going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
I mean, it was one of those episodes where I feel like we got a lot of it right. We basically called everything right, but I just found the 2 wrong plays. Unfortunately, I ended up picking AT to go over points at around 14.5. I think she had 13 in the end. She played a bunch of minutes. It was a high-scoring game. She just didn't get there. Didn't take enough shots, so she went under by a basket. For the dog, I wanted to do the Aces halftime spread, full-time spread, but Bet365 was acting up on us, so I ended up pivoting elsewhere. Ended up going with Asia to be the leading scorer at plus 145. It was a pretty annoying game because the Aces were just so balanced offensively. They got so many contributions from Jackie, from Kelsey. Everybody contributed. And Asia took the fourth quarter off. So she ended up with 19 points. I think Jackie had 24. Point is, though, ended up picking poorly. I should have went with my original gut there. But we ended up getting the games right. We thought that the Once again, the Lynx were going to win. We thought that was going to be a solid game. The total was high scoring. Didn't see that coming. But AT just didn't partake in the high scoring game. She just was a bit off. Didn't really attempt many shots or as many as I thought she was going to. And Asia was once again effective. She had a bunch of rebounds, but it seemed like the Aces got whatever they wanted the entire game. And Asia got pulled with 7 minutes to go, 6, 7 minutes to go. So she wasn't going to probably get there anyway, but ended up losing the lock in the dog. So, did you freeze? You there? Terrell, you good? I think Terrell just froze. So, yeah, anyway, briefly recapping what happened in the last game that we ended up seeing. So the Lynx ended up winning on the road. Sorry, I'll briefly do the recap there, and then I'll get into the rest as Terrell gets his connection back. So, point is, for the actual games that we just saw, the Lynx really looked fantastic. They ended up leading the game by double digits at halftime, won each of the first 3 quarters, and then you ended up seeing them win by 9. Collier had a great game. We know that she was struggling in the beginning portion of the series, and then she ended up having a monster game as she went for 26 points, and she also had 11 rebounds for the hell of it. So nice win by the Lynx, and their best player finally woke up in the series. Williams was good though, at 16 points. McBride had 13 points. More importantly, 1 rebound. So if you ended up back in the under 2.5 rebounds, they got there anyway. Carlton was solid, but 4 of the 5 starters from Minnesota scored double digits. So that was kind of the story of the game. As for Connecticut, everybody scored in double digits in the starting lineup, including Brianna Jones, who randomly had a great game at 21 points. The issue was I roasted this Sun bench, and the Sun bench combined to score 4 points. Not good enough. Their offense is reliant solely on 5 people, and the Sun bench, once again, was a non-factor. 4 points on the bench. The Lynx offensively were fantastic, and they scored 90 points. You have anything else you want to add there?
Man,
I mean, 90 against the Sun defense is just incredible. That's like 105 against any other defense in the league.
The Lynx are a far better team. Let's just leave it at that.
They are.
The Lynx are the far better team here. And it seems that Connecticut has now found a way to become the 4th best team in the league, definitively.
They used to be 3rd, now they're 4th. So
yeah, it looks like the Lynx made that leap. We'll talk about that game in a second, literally, a little bit later. But I don't know how I can get back on the Sun train. Maybe we could figure it out. But before we do all of that, I have to remind you all that we are still raising funds for the support, the relief, all the way in Western Carolina. Look, we're trying to help them out with the local charity, mountainprojects.org, the Hurricane Helene, that's what it is. Hurricane Helene just ravaged and destroyed a bunch of stuff through there. You know me, be around North Carolina all the time, went to school in North Carolina. I know people from the 828, that's the area code out there, Scott. The 828, Asheville, all through the Western Carolinas. It's really, really bad. And you can see some of the videos of the dam just overflowing into the town and just flooding everything. And so, hey, look, the biggest donation that donates to mountainprojects.org is going to get a guest spot on the College Football Pick Show of Sports Gambling Podcast, and they're going to give you a bunch of SGPN gear as well. So, hey, go to that website link, mountainprojects.org, flood them with a whole bunch of support, and make sure you drop that SGPN in the memos. All right. Also, hey, make sure you tap into our pregame shows, College Experience, 11 a.m. on Saturdays. The NFL Propcast kicks off at 11 a.m. on Sundays, followed by SGP at noon, last second bets, DGen parlays, all of that and more on the most DGen pregame show slate. All righty here, Scott. 2 games.
Well,
Kicking off.
Before we actually get into that, I recapped the Lynx game. You jumped in between. I was going to ask you your thoughts on the Aces game for Game 3. It was pretty straightforward, but I figured we should at least do a recap.
No, I mean, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It was a rather competitive game, and I wish they didn't give us as much of a sweat on that Aces first half, but they gave us a sweat. We still, hopefully everybody got 2.5. Maybe somebody got a 3 and pushed. I don't think it was any higher than that, but yeah, no, it went exactly how we thought. And Now there's a huge decision to make that I'm not ready to make, and maybe we'll talk it out and we'll figure it out then. I don't know if I'm ready to make the decision, but it's a huge decision to make in Game 4.
I also just want to quickly point out, I know you're going to save that for the Game 4 breakdown. Shout out to the Aces defense. They had Sabrina in a box the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Think she
props
had
to them. They did a great job. The third quarter was disgusting. What did Liberty score? 4 points in the entire quarter? They started like 0 of 13. They
6.
scored 6 in the end. I forgot.
Mhm.
Stewie made a runner at the end, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they started like 0 for 13 from the floor in the third quarter. And I had the Aces first half personally. Minus a half at minus 130. Massive sweat.
Mhm.
Very fun first half, but the Aces got there, and then the third quarter started, and the game was over. So all I really got to say. All I know is Becky called out her team, and they responded. So good for the team. I'll put it this way. It was such a great spot for the Aces. If you
Mhm.
expected the two-time defending champions to roll over on their home floor and get swept, we don't know what to tell you.
Nah, because
we
it
don't
was
know what to tell you.
definitely I definitely seen some people out there that was on the Liberty as a dog, and I understand Liberty as a dog sounds crazy, but come on, man, like come on, they were gonna get swept on their home floor. That
No.
was that was a lot to ask for. That was a lot
Yep.
to ask for, even from this Liberty team. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead. Game 4 in Connecticut. 2-1 is the Lynx. They are up.
Were we going in
Line.
order or no? Because I think the Aces game's technically first.
No, it's at 1. Is that not at 1?
Is it? I thought they flipped it. No, the Aces game's first. Aces game's at 3, and the Lynx game's at 5.
Oh, okay. I got the wrong times. Wow. I
Okay.
don't know how that happened. All right.
Unless
Yeah,
you're
I got
looking
the
at
wrong times. Yeah,
hypothetical
no,
games.
no, no. We'll
Yeah.
go in order. We'll go in order. No, I
Alright.
don't know why we would. I don't know why I had 1. All right.
I was gonna say maybe you're looking at the game 5 hypothetical schedule. That might have been
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
okay.
All right, here we go. New York Liberty in Las Vegas playing the Aces. Liberty up 2-1. Aces laying 3.5 here. 166.5 is total. Still going up against NFL. I don't have Kia Stokes still out with a concussion, so that is official injury report news. She is still out with a concussion. Everything's set to go. Gustafson is supposed to be in the lineup. So Scott, this is the ultimate revenge spot for the Liberty. I will say that. They have the opportunity to exercise the demons and do what the Aces did to them and send them home on their home floor.
Well, do you want to
I
reveal?
think we got to go Liberty here.
I was gonna ask though. Do you want to reveal the elephant in the room because you were alluding to a potential change in game 4?
What do you mean? What did I
When you
allude
said
to?
before, like there was something that you felt like needed to be said about game 4, and you didn't say it.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that. Oh.
Earlier you said that you kind of alluded to something like you.
Oh no! A decision needs to be made, and the decision is made: is do we take the Liberty to close things out right
Oh, you meant
here?
for
or...
us. Okay.
Oh
I thought you
yeah,
meant
nah,
I
not
thought you
for
meant the
them.
Liberty needed to make like a rotation decision. That's why I got confused.
A
Okay, my bad.
decision needs to be made because the Aces played well, and so are the
Okay.
Aces going to play well on their home floor again and force a Game 5 in New York? And this is one of those home series, or are the Liberty going to exercise their demons and send this team packing on their home court like they did to them last year? It's
Yeah,
a
it was
really
my bad.
interesting.
I thought you meant the Liberty had to change something after game 3. My bad.
No,
Okay.
it's an interesting revenge angle, and
I think I'm on the Aces here, but
really, okay.
I think I am. It might just come back to, once again, it was one game, and I understand the Liberty ended up surviving in game 2 in a very difficult spot in general because the Aces threw them a good punch and they held on to win. I still think this team is soft. And I've been critical of that for the past couple of years. I know that this team had the best record in the league, and they were up 2-0 against the defending champions, two-time defending champions, and the Aces look like, once again, they were outmatched in the first 2 games. Having said that, just watching the Liberty, I know it was a great spot for the Aces because they had to show up with more intensity than the Liberty, and the Liberty could afford in the back of their minds to basically punt game 3 and try to regroup for game 4. I still like the adjustments Becky Hammond made. They finally got key contributions from all 3 of their best players at the same time because Asia and Plum and you ended up seeing Jackie. They basically all combined for like 60-plus points. They were all great, and I feel like they made some defensive adjustments on Sabrina to take her out of her game. Stewie didn't do much. Jonquel didn't really do anything. Shout out to Lainey Hamilton, though, who went under her points and rebounds. But I just feel like the Aces at home are just a different animal to me. And the Liberty, we know that this team is great at home, despite choking away the golden opportunity to go back to Game 5 last year in the finals, losing at home. I just think the Aces might have found something. I think that their best players showed up when they need them to, and I still think the Liberty, maybe it's just based on how Sandy's the coach, and you know I'm not a fan of Sandy at all. It just felt like the Aces brought a certain intensity and made some adjustments, and Sandy did nothing for the entire game. Now, you're hoping that she comes with a better game plan for Game 4, but I do think Becky is a significantly better coach than Sandy, and going into the series, I had 5. I had Aces in 5. That was my initial prediction. I think I'm going back to it. I'll take the Aces at home. The Liberty haven't played many road games lately. That was their first game in the West Coast in over a month in Game 3. I think I'm going back to the Aces. I just think their players woke up, and I think that the Liberty offensively still look a bit stagnant at times, and I'm not the big fan of that. I'm going to go Liberty. I'm going to go fading the Liberty in the spot. Give me a Game 5 again. Give me the Aces minus 3.5.
I think it's been a while since we disagreed, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm going Liberty.
It's not
I
the
think
easy-
this is over now. You
getting
don't want
into
to
it.
take this to Game 5. You do not want to take this, even if it is at home. You don't want to take this Aces team to a Game 5 and leave that door open. Because if I think the door's open, if the door is open, I think Asia Wilson and the Aces are going to kick their way through it and just storm through it. I don't think the Liberty want to do that. And ultimately, it goes back to me trusting in the Liberty's defense. They've been getting stops all year long. The Aces have been getting stops for about a month. And that's what is, and I saw it in Game 1. I saw stretches of it in Game 2. Didn't really get to see it too much in Game 3, but I feel confident that we can get back to a Game 1 standpoint where this Aces team is just going to struggle to get a stop on this Liberty team when they need it. And if the Liberty are going to go in there with the mentality of we're sending this team home on their home floor, we're going to walk off and we're going to be the most hated in Vegas at the moment in time. Yeah, I'm backing the Liberty, and I think that Sandy will scheme up a way to kind of get Sabrina open again, get Sabrina going again. Stewie and Jonquel still really, really good down low. I don't think Jonquel Jones is going to be in foul trouble this time. That was a big thing in last game. I think she had picked up 3 quick fouls in that first half and had to sit for a while, and then you know how the second half went. So I don't think that we're going to be missing Jonquel Jones for the first half, which is going to add to them on the defensive end, and she's going to be able to help offensive rebound. And that's ultimately where they kill this team. They kill this team on the glass, rebounding in this series. I think the Liberty send them home here, and don't even give me a Game 5 to look forward to. So yeah, I'm taking New York Liberty plus the 3, sprinkle on the money line. I think the series is over.
All I know is the only thing I technically got wrong in the series was initially thinking the Aces would take one of the 2 games in New York, but then I benedicted. We agreed on taking the Liberty in Game 2, and they got there. So far, we've had a pretty good read on all these games. Going into the series, I had 5. So I feel like I'm just going to stick with what I initially had. I just think that this series between 2 juggernauts, I do think whoever wins this series wins the title. I think we've agreed on that. Minnesota or, in theory, Connecticut can have something to say about it, but I think we'd agree these are probably the 2 best teams in the league. I had 5. I had this being the de facto finals. I'm going to stick at that. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going 5. I'll stick with what I think was going to happen before the series started. Took the Aces a while to get going, but when you factor in the fourth quarter of Game 2, the Aces have kind of outplayed the Liberty for 5 straight quarters. And I feel like that stuff kind of matters for at least a confidence perspective. You feel that way at all?
Yeah, no. I think it does, and I do think the Aces are going to get out there and punch them in the mouth again. I just think this time in the second quarter, instead of the Liberty rolling over, they're going to battle back, and I think it's going to be a game in the second, and that's where they're going to take their opportunity and pull away and win. So, all right, Scott's on the Aces. I'm on the Liberty. Total.
I'm on the over. I'm tired of leaning under and every game goes over. It's pissing me off. I'm just going to go over out of default. So if you want to bet the over, you should probably bet the under because I like the over in the game. But I'm tired of just constantly leaning to the under, and it just never happens. It's just bothering me. So I'll go with the over.
I'm on over too. We can make that quick. We'll get the props in a second, but before we do that, gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. You can play these WNBA plays that we're about to talk about, or college football, which I'm watching on the TV right now as Arkansas fumbled a snap.
What's the
Did he
score
get
right
it
now, by the
back?
way?
Huh?
Is that game closer to? Oh, they're up 4. Okay. Tennessee
Oh
is.
well, yeah, it might be 3 in a second. We'll see here, but
Okay.
college football, NFL, MLB, MMA, and more, all at Underdog Fantasy. You can go in there. You can do drafts. You can do and use boost and specials and all of that. Matter of fact, we'll give you a special pick and a first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash if you sign up with code NBA SGPN. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. All right. I have a substantial amount on Arkansas money line, and they're down by 1. And honestly, I don't know how they didn't score right there, but
I
I
already know
wasn't paying attention.
Clemson's about to blow this. I'm going to be so pissed because they actually kicked the field goal. They're up 16. I need 1 stop. And now Florida State's going in garbage time in the final minute inside the 25. So, yeah, I got that going for me right now. 4th and 1, and they give up a conversion. So, yeah, this is sweat for me too. But anyway, what do you have in Arkansas? What was the spread in that game? Like 13.5,
14.
14.5? Yeah.
14. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out
Thought
to
it was
the
around
Razorbacks.
there.
Shout out to Bridge. Bridge is at the game right now. My master sergeant I was deployed with. Very, very cool guy. Retired. Shout out to him. Appreciate him. Serving the country, all that. But yeah, he's over at the game now, having a ball. All right. Let's see here. Player props.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Yeah, got ahead of myself.
Sabrina
I'm back.
over 2.5 threes. I'm back on the wagon.
Okay. I mean, she's going to need a bounce back spot, and hopefully the
I like the
Liberty do a
Liberty to
better
win.
job. Yeah, if you like them to win, then Sabrina's probably going to have a much better game. And on top of that, you're assuming that they'll do a better job of scheming her open. Because they really didn't do her any favors in that entire game. My question is, I think I have to go back to Laney Hamilton unders because, like, how am I not supposed to? You know, like she can't really move. The scoring has not been there. She rebounded well, so there was that. But I got to go back to the unders. Laney Hamilton has been injured. It's not her fault. Like she can't really move out there. So I'll go back to the unders on her. You mentioned John Quell. You think she stays out of foul trouble. So does that mean that you like her rebounds, her points and rebounds? What exactly do you like?
Yeah, I think points and rebounds because I think Jonquil does have to have a really big game here. I like your threes angle as well. I don't know what that's at, but I think Jonquil they really need her to be good on the offensive and defensive end, but especially crashing in glass because Asia had what did she finish with? Was it
I think
13 rebounds?
she had 19 and 13, I think.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it was something crazy. So like they really got to get that under control again. And they were really good when they were crashing the glass, getting offensive rebounds, and really just limiting Ace's possessions to 1 possession and not letting them get opportunity after opportunity, and especially corralling the misses, like really getting in on the misses. Oh, I need to turn on the USC game. Yeah. So I like JJ. I And then I'm going with Stewie. I think Stewie's going to be the best player on the court.
Yeah.
I'm taking Stewie's over on points. I think she's going to be the best player on the court, and I think that as much as I and you and the forward thinkers are trying to make this Sabrina's team, the Liberty have not made this Sabrina's team yet.
I mean,
It's still
to
Stewie's
be
team.
fair, you probably should. I mean, what has Stewie won? 2 MVPs? 3?
Yeah.
It probably
But they
should be
gotta,
your team.
but they gotta give Sabrina the team for Sabrina to get the MVP. She's not like it's not her team yet. There's been stretches where it was her team, but just not overall. And it's fine. We're not there yet. It's cool. We'll get there eventually. But for now, it's still Stewie. And Stewie's still really good.
By the way,
What's your
Clemson
points
covered.
prop at?
So I'm off the hook. Clemson covered, thank God.
Well, you got the early line. They didn't cover for us late liners. I was
I
quiet
got it
about
very
because,
early. I actually got it last night. It was 13.5 last night, and then I woke up and it was 17.
yeah,
I don't really know how that happened, but
some of us got 16.5, but it's okay. I wasn't going to talk about it because it wasn't that big of a bet for me today, but some of us got 16.5. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to take what the gambling guys give me, and right now I'm sweating Arkansas and Minnesota.
Okay. That Minnesota game looked pretty good.
Hey.
Good isn't entertaining. I don't know about the actual bet stuff, but it looks competitive.
Let's
That counts.
we'll just no
Fair.
jinxes around here. All right. Anything
I'll go
else
to
for this game?
I actually like Kelsey Plum under her 3.5 assists at minus 132. Even in that game that they just exploded in the last time, she only had 2 assists. The passing has not really been there. She has had less than 4 assists in 5 or last 6. The one exception was game 1. She had 4. So I think that Plum is more interested in scoring, just in general. But 3.5 feels high. I think the Liberty have done a good job defending her in the past. She's had less than 4 assists in 4 of her last 6 head-to-head games against the Liberty. I'll go to Plum under 3.5 assists. Thought about Stewie under 3.5 assists too. Did a good job against her. She was very good though in the first 2 games. So I think I'm going to stay away from that. Jonquel kind of bothers me in this series because she should be in a good spot to dominate, but it just feels like I'm trying to think of how to describe it. They're not really getting her as many open looks as I'd hope they would. You know what I mean? They're kind of letting Jonquel roam, and she's more of like a decoy in the pick and roll. I wish they gave her the ball more, but like they don't. So I have a hard time taking her props.
All right. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game, got to talk to you about Rhythm, #1 AI-powered sports betting platform. Let's get into the Rhythm Lab and see what they have cooking up for the WNBA. And they got a team of data scientists that help build these models and platforms. And you can build your own models as well. And hey, take what you value and what you think the spread and how you think the game should go and everything all like that. And guess what? Rhythm will go ahead and compute up the model and give you the plays that you value. But I like using Rhythm's AI plays. Rhythm is on, guess what, Scott? The over for the Liberty and the Aces game.
Welcome
So
aboard.
should feel pretty good about that. They say it's a 62.4% win probability. 169 and a half total points is where they're at. I think it's going to be even more than that. So because I don't think the Aces are going to be able to get a stop this game. So all right, here we go. Add Sabrina assist to the queue, Scott.
Okay.
Add Sabrina assist to the queue for sure. All right. Make sure you use that link, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM, and get a 7-day free trial to that bet and more bets. And I'm telling y'all, there's a lot of bets in here that Rhythm likes. So you should really, really get on the app and go lock in those plays. All right. Game 4 in Connecticut.
There's another read, right? Doesn't BetUS come after?
Oh, yeah. BetUS does come after it. Thank you, Scott. Because how could I forget about BetUS? They're the
You
best
got to
in the
learn about the
business.
Ford Mustang giveaway. Come on, man.
I know they're the best in the business, and you buried the lead there, giving away a Ford Mustang. Because if you sign up with BetUS and deposit $100, you have a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. Oh, that's where I got 1960 from. Okay, that just closed a loop for me that you all don't know. So, if you would like story time with Phil and Rel, really quick. I walked into the house today. I'm at my uncle's house. I walked into the house and the alarm was going off. And I went to type the alarm and I was typing the wrong number. I was typing 1960. The number was something that was way completely off from 1960, like not even close. And I didn't know why I was typing 1960. That's why, because I was thinking about the 1960 Ford Mustang that I want to get at BetUS. Go sign up, deposit $100. You have a chance to win it right there. BetUS. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. All right. Now we talk about the Connecticut Sun. Third time's the charm, Scott.
Yep.
Connecticut Sun at home. Game 4 of the WNBA semifinals, playing the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx are up 2-1. No injury report. Ty Harris is playing. Ty Harris is on the coming off the bench. Ty Harris had a increase in her minutes restriction, so really nothing to worry about there. She's just off the bench now.
I think the series is over.
So, like, it's just I don't know what offense I mean, they have to have a perfect offensive game. That's literally what it is, and
Well,
that's kind
they
of
need
what happened in
Mabry to
game
light it
one.
up because Mabry couldn't shoot. What you go 1 for 11 last game from three? She couldn't shoot.
All I'm saying is my Mabry under 15.5 points is 2 out of 3.
Yeah, just saying that you could. I don't want to say single handedly lost in the game last game because they gave up 90 points, but 1 for 11 is crazy in a playoff game. But it goes back to what we said before the series started, which was the Lynx being the better team and they're deeper. I guess my question is, if you're against a team that's better than you, what adjustments can you really make? Because the Lynx once again choked game one. They only scored about 8 points in the fourth quarter of game one. This probably should have been a sweep when you really think about how each game's played out. Connecticut's been outplayed in basically 11 of the 12 quarters in this series. Like, you can make an argument they've been outplayed in like 11 of the 12 quarters. What's Connecticut supposed to do? Collier was awful the first 2 games. She was great in game 3, so you woke up their best player. I don't know what
Appreciate
your
the
move
25
is.
plus and Lynx money line, by the way. Thank you.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. You've been outplayed in most of the series. You're lucky you even won a game. Right? I mean, I don't know what Connecticut's supposed to do.
And they got the 21 from Bree Jones. That's really the thing that just like that's not happening again.
No. And she was like extremely underwhelming. She was borderline unplayable in the first 2 games, and she gave you a masterclass. And you still give up 90 points. You have no bench. We know this. I think Mabry has to have a monster 3-point game. I think that's basically what you're hoping on because your team's not the greatest
3
outside
for
shooting team
20.
anyway.
I mean, she was 1 for 11, so that's kind of skewing things, but like still.
I mean,
It's really
the main thing we said going into the series was that Minnesota on the 3-point line is significantly better than this Connecticut team. It's why Connecticut traded for Mabry in the first place because this team could not shoot from the outside. There's the main reason why. We know Mabry is fearless, and we know that she's not afraid to shoot, for better or worse. And right now, the Sun are going down with the ship because she's not been able to hit an outside shot for 2 straight games. They need her to have a great game. But Minnesota, with the balance they have with the 3-point shooting and even their 3-point defense, unless they get hot from 3, they're trading 2s for 3s. Like, I don't know what they're supposed to do besides hoping that Mabry wakes up and starts hitting a bunch of shots again. Is that their only answer? What else do they have?
I think that they are now at an impasse because you say it's Mabry, and I do agree with that. But DeWanna Bonner has effectively just kind of been a player this entire series, and she can't be just a player. She has to be one of the players in the series. Last game was okay. 4 for 9, 16 points, 8 rebounds. But I need more. There's no reason DeWanna Bonner shouldn't be in double-digit field goal attempts at the end of first half, honestly. Because you got to go down with the ship, and you got to be able to put points up. Clearly, you saw the Minnesota Lynx were going to score whatever, so now you have to try to match their scoring, and you weren't able to do it because DeWanna Bonner didn't get enough looks. Marina Mabry couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and you just kind of ended up having to rely on AT and Breonna Jones to carry the day.
Mhm.
DeWanna Bonner's got to show up, and she, in my opinion, she hasn't shown up in the series yet. Marina Mabry's shown up for a game. We're in game 4 at this point. I feel like I agree with you. I feel like they've shown us who they are at this point. We just got to take Minnesota and just continue on with Minnesota. So
Just for
Minnesota,
reference, sorry, yeah, we're both on Minnesota, but just for reference, by the way, Mabry in game 1, the game they won, went a solid 6 for 11 from 3. In the last 2 games, she's 3 of 19.
this was
3
that
of
was
19.
and that was the handicap to my Marina Mabry unders is that this team just guards her well, and she got off on them one game, but they played her really, really well the last 2, and yeah, this isn't going to help. So all right.
That's kind of why I'm mentioning her specifically. It's because she was brought in solely to try to match the Lynx's 3-point production, and she's just been tossing up bricks. So I think Mabry has to have a great game. If you're picking Connecticut to win, you might want to parlay that with like Mabry 15 plus points. I think that she has to play well for them to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, Mal, I feel the same way. Her big game was against Indiana, but I mean everybody's big game should be against Indiana.
Yeah.
But all right. Total sitting at 153.5. Went back up.
What was it? 151.5 last game, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna just continue to go under, man. I mean, come on, Connecticut always does have that one game they can score, and I'm not gonna let game 3 change my mind. I'm just gonna continue to go under.
I mean, Minnesota shot 57.4% from the floor.
That's got to come
I
down.
I can't assume that's continuing against Connecticut. I'm on the under as well. They had one extreme outlier game. I'm not going to overreact to that. Pretty much every meeting besides the last one's been a rock fight. If we're talking about how Connecticut can win the game, just stylistically, besides Mabry and some other players stepping up, they need to make this game as ugly as possible. I think you'd agree with that. They
Yeah.
need to be physical. They need to try to dominate on the boards, and they need to try to slow down Minnesota's pace, and I'd say comfort offensively. And it felt like Minnesota got into their sets and their overall, I'd say, just plays extremely easily. It just felt like Minnesota was flowing, and they couldn't stop them. Connecticut has to muck it up. It's the only way they could win the series. They have to try to make it ugly and hope they make enough shots to get by. But I do think based on style, and it is an elimination game, I got to go Connecticut to make the game ugly, to try to make it close. Even though I'm picking Minnesota, I'm picking a close game. Give me the Sun to once again make it a war physically. A little bit of chippiness there with shoving and maybe the refs swallow their whistles a bit. Give me the under. I think this game lands with both teams in the 70s, but I'm picking Minnesota to win. So I'll go with Minnesota to win in the probably 140s for the total.
Meanwhile, college Minnesota got stopped at the goal line when they could have won the game in regulation.
Wasn't it a tie game?
Yes, they could have won the game in regulation. They were at the goal line and got stopped.
No, I'm saying, why didn't they kick a field goal? It was a tie game.
Exactly.
They went for it on the inch line?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I'm
Okay.
trying to.
they went
All
for
I
it.
know
They didn't get it.
all I know is before we started talking, it was first and goal, and now USC has the ball.
For
Yes, they
reference,
lost
by the
on
way,
downs. Yes, they
yeah.
lost on downs. They
It was
lost on
first and
downs trying to score at the 1. Oh
It was-
my gosh! Just kick the field goal.
It was first and
Just
goal
kick
at
the
the 4.
field goal.
It was first and goal at the 4, and they ended up having third and goal at the 1 and fourth and goal at the 1. They didn't score. So,
They
yeah,
had
they
2
got
fourth and goals. Oh my god! No, they only had 1 fourth goal.
They had 1
Oh
as a
my
tie game.
gosh! This is people.
That's
always do dumb
atrocious.
stuff when I bet them.
But now
You
the
coulda
game
went
with
up 3. Just go
ESPN
up
gave him
3.
a touchdown now, so I don't know what the hell just happened.
Just go up 3. That basically says your defense can't get a stop.
No, but ESPN just gave them 24 points. So I don't
Oh,
know
they
if they
did?
overturned it or not. Yeah, they gave him a touchdown. They kicked the extra
They
point.
did. Yes. Ha ha. Screw. Minnesota is paying me. The state of Minnesota deserves my presence. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I don't know what they have going on there. If anybody's from Minnesota, drop in the comments and let me know what happens in Minnesota. I think the state of Minnesota deserves my presence. Maybe I'll go to a Timberwolves game. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Okay.
I definitely deserve to go get some real estate or something in Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota. All right, now we wait for the rest of the game. Okay. Play the props. I'm taking Fee again.
Okay.
She just need to see the ball go in the basket. Now it's not stopping. And there was a bunch of times that I don't know how they continue to get these switches on Fee, and Dejanay Carrington is inside the post guarding her. But they do, and Fee is really, really quick to make a move before somebody else gets there and either gets sent to the line or scores. They've just found that's the Cheryl Reeve, and I'll give that to Cheryl Reeve and the coaching of them finding ways to scheme Fee into really, really good networks. So, yeah, I am 100% all over Nafisa Collier yet again. This is a closeout game. I'm rolling with Fee.
Yeah, I can't really go against that either because Fee dominated game 3, and the rebounds were solid too. So if you want to go for rebounds, that's an option too. I feel like in an elimination game, I have to trust 18 some capacity. She screwed me in game 3 because she didn't shoot enough. But the PRA is still a 32.5. Like the rebounds and assists were there. She combined for 16 on those. The points with the volume weren't there. She did go over this in 4 straight before that last game. I think I'm just going to back AT at home in an elimination game to at least do her part. I'll go with AT over 32.5 PRA. I still think the rebounds and the assists will be there. I'm hoping the points will be there too. But I think she can get to 32.5 even if she goes under the points hypothetically. So I don't mind AT having a monster game. I'll go with the over 32.5 PRA there. I was thinking about going under on McBride. It's a bit dicey though because her points, rebounds, and assists are at 19.5. She has gone under in every game. and she has gone under in 7 of the last 13 against Connecticut. But the question is, do I want to include assists or not? Because she has had a bunch of assists against Connecticut. If I just go rebounds, that's a 2.5 again, which I could go with the under again, by the way, because she has gone under in 2 of the first 3 games of the series. But if I go for points and rebounds, it's at 16.5. She has had 14 on the dot in all 3 games. I think I'll ignore the assist. McBride assists has actually been low-key a solid overplay for the series. But I'll go with McBride points and rebounds under 16.5 at minus 120. Gone under in all 3 games. So I'll go with it again.
All right, you gave it an under. I'll throw out an under as well. Give me Brianna Jones. Under 10.5 points. That was the game.
It's
I mean,
such a
that was
good
the
sell
game.
high spot. It's such a good
Yeah,
sell
like
high spot for her.
and it was so easy. Like the buckets were so easy. They really just weren't guarding her at that point. Like, and I'm perfectly fine with them saying, okay, we're not going to let her do that again. She's been virtually a non-factor in the playoffs leading up to this point, and not because of skill, but because of they just didn't need to use her. I mean, everybody else was scoring against Indiana.
Yeah, I think Terrell froze again. I mean, I agree with what he's saying. I think an issue with Brianna Jones also her ability to stay on the floor because she has to constantly move around the 3-point line because everybody on Minnesota can shoot. So Brianna Jones is kind of stuck in the lane and she's going to have a hard time contesting on the perimeter. So I'm pretty sure that that was going to be another one of Terrell's reasons, but unfortunately he lagged out mid-argument. So apologies there. But I do think at the end of the day, it's going to be a spot where Brianna probably struggles, and you probably see her reverting back to what she did in the first couple games. Do you want to read off, though, actually what her numbers were in the first couple games by comparison? Because it tells you how crazy the outlier actually is. So Jones at 10.5 in her playoff games, including the Indiana series. She had 4 in game 1, 8 in game 2, then had 6 in game 1 against Minnesota, 2 in game 2 against Minnesota, and had 21 in game 3 against Minnesota. So it's the only playoff game she's had with at least 9 points. And now I can get 10.5 again. It is a very good sell high spot if you believe in it. And I'm sure a lot of people will be on the over based on how well she did in game 3, in game 2, or game 3, I mean. I think it's a good spot to fade Jones and to expect her to regress as well in what could be a lackluster game in terms of minutes for her. Because in the first 2 games, she played 18 minutes in game 1 and 13.6 minutes in game 2. And Jones did play a lot and she had a monster game offensively. The Lynx did shoot 57% from the floor. So defensively, they weren't getting it done at all. And I wonder if Jones will be the odd one out and they end up maybe cutting her minutes back to around 20. But her playing 30 plus minutes, I think, is unsustainable, especially in this matchup. So I think you're looking at her probably getting close to 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that might result once again in a low-scoring game for her. So I do agree about Brianna Jones. The question that is the elephant in the room that I still mentioned earlier with the game breakdown, but did not mention the props. Do I want to go with Mabry over or under on her props? Because
Under.
I feel like the under's the move, but the volume is just so
No, it doesn't
attractive.
matter. But that's what makes it. That's what makes it a sweat. Is because she gets the volume, so she's gonna find her way to. Matter of fact, you know what I would degenerally do? I would tell people, my clients, take the 10 points because she's gonna get the volume to get to double digits, but she's not getting to. What's it at now?
Her points prop is at 16.5.
She's not getting to 16.5. That probably pays out nice too. I think FanDuel will let you do that. Just look and
It's
see.
really just the threes that I'm tempted by because it's at 2.5 at minus 140. She's attempted at least 10 threes in 4 of her last 5 games.
They
Like the
guard her well.
volume is absurd. But she can't hit a shot to save her life right now,
I'm
which is the
sticking with my
annoying part.
I'm sticking with my pre-series handicap, and I'm fading Maria Mabry. the
That's
whole
a move by
series.
Mal, though. You take the over on threes, the under in points. You go for the crazy, like, middle. I
Yeah,
actually want to see what that pays. I want to see what that is.
I'm over here trying to get the 10 points and the under too. So hold on 1 second, because that does sound. If it just feels like that's juicy. All right, so
Well, it's
10.
extremely contrarian, so you definitely get a multiplier boost.
Wow, I don't even see Marina 10 plus points up here, so that's not an option to do
In the
that.
meantime, I will
Let's
look for
take
the
the
threes.
under on points and the over on threes, and that is plus
Probably.
463.
I was kind of hoping it'd be higher, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why. Why does she not have a 10+ point option? Is it because she's that good? Yeah, I guess it's because
Yeah,
she's that
pretty
good.
much. Yeah.
Wow.
I was agreeing with you about your Jones play when you lagged out because defensively they gave up 90
Yeah.
points.
Xfinity, count your fucking days. Oh my god, I'm gonna cuss them out. Like, count your days.
S-
I don't know what.
So you were in the middle of talking about how Brianna's probably going to regress. I went through the playoff numbers. It's the only playoff game she's had more
Mhm,
than 9 points in. She played 30 minutes. They gave up 90 plus points.
mhm.
Like defensively, it doesn't work with her on the floor. I think you have to play her less minutes just for the matchup. She can't guard on the perimeter.
Yeah. All right. Lock, dog, underdog. Guess we'll figure out a parlay too. Parlay almost hit. AT was like 2 points short.
Yeah, that's what I lost my lock on.
All right. For my lock, do I dare lock up Minnesota 2 games in a row? I just feel like we're on the right side of this. Yeah, screw it. I think this series is over. Give me Minnesota on the money line, plus 108. That's my lock. I don't even need the 1.5 points. I think this is done.
Okay.
For my dog, yeah, I just think the Aces defense is going to fold. It's just who do I want to back? You know what? 25 plus is 2-1 for Stewie. That's actually insane. There's a point in time where Stewie's points prop was 24.5 for minus 110. And no, all right, yeah. Closeout game opportunity. I think the Aces defense is going to fold in this in this game. Give him Brianna Stewart 25 plus points, 2-1. Scott.
Yeah. So for my lock, I think I'm just gonna go with the Lynx in this one. I thought about taking an alt spread, but I really do think the game's gonna be close. So I'm not
Mhm,
gonna bother with that. Just give me the Lynx. I'll take them on. I can take the spread. You know what? Just give me the money line. I think that they're going to win the game. I think they should have swept the series if you factor in how badly they choked game one away in the fourth
mhm.
quarter. Give me Minnesota on the money line at plus 108 as my lock. So 2+ money plays. For my dog in this one, I got to figure out which actual matchup or prop I want to go to because I might actually do something in that game as well. I am thinking about maybe doing McBride assists because they've actually been very good, but I don't know if I'm going to find a good price on that. Asia leading scorer has been killing me. I can't do that. Collier to lead the game in points is plus 165. That could be intriguing. I'm trying to find a plus money play that I'm really tempted by. You know what? I think I'm just going to go with a combo play. I do think the Aces are going to win, so I am going to go with the Aces. I want to do something with them. I got to figure out what I want to do. Do I go with the spread and the over? That could be an option. If I do that, that gets me to plus 254. Or do I go for maybe a player performance double? And I could do that. I might prefer the player performance double, but only if they have Jackie 15 plus points. I might actually be able to build that. So let me just see if I could build that quickly. If I go for Jackie to get 15 plus points, that is 166. I throw in the Aces money line. No, not good enough. Okay, so I'll do it this instead. Give me Jackie 15 plus points and give me the Aces minus 3.5, and that's plus 167.
All right. Hmm.
Parlay.
Yeah, the semifinal round is over. Yeah, I'm going head to head with you. Semifinal round is over. We're gonna take the Liberty on the money line for the parlay, and we're gonna parlay that with Lynx, and we're gonna throw in because I like to let's juice this up a little bit. Let's put Fee 20 plus points in there as well, and let's go with Stewie 20 plus points. Simple. Keep it simple. Not don't gotta break the mold here. So Stewie 20 plus in a win, Fee 20 plus in a win. That gets us plus 834. I'll take it. I think this round is over. We start talking about a Aces Lynx final. Not Aces, Liberty Lynx final. Liberty Lynx final. There we go. Collier, Minnesota, Stewart, Liberty, 834. Underdog.
You wanted Ionescu assists on the Q,
Yeah,
so
gotta
you
play
can
that.
use it on the Q.
Let's tee up Sabrina higher, 5.5 assists. That number is short.
What's Jackie's points at? Because Jackie
16
has
and a
been
half.
very good. I think I like the over on. I like the higher on that. She's been great.
All right, Jackie higher, 16.5 points.
Do you co-sign? Do you
Old
co-sign
reliable
that?
AT, huh?
Do you co-sign the Jackie? I mean, we
Yeah,
like the over in
Jackie's
the
been
game.
great.
So
Jackie's been great. The only thing is that now they've juiced up the prop. Like we
Yeah.
were getting the 12.5s, and that sucks. But yeah, I'm still rolling with Jackie, 16.5. I can do it.
Mm.
Do we just go ahead, take AT, call it a day?
Unless you want to go for Collier again, or you want to go Brianna Jones, we can go lower.
Nah, let's go with AT, man. AT's been
All right,
good to us.
that's fine. 32 and a
AT
half.
higher PRA. AT higher PRA 32.5. We've got Jackie Young higher 16.5 points, and Sabrina Ionescu higher 5.5 assists. Put that all in Underdog Fantasy, shake it all up, and you're gonna get 6x. $100 get you $600 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Underdog record's been pretty good this year too. Not to brag. All right, Scott. Anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, apologies. College football is going on, so I was a bit distracted for part of the show. I know Terrell was too, so it is what it is. So what happens when we record on Saturday night and you have a crazy slate of college football? Congrats on Minnesota, by the way. Nice win there for the Gophers. But yeah, overall should be fun. Now, the schedule is going to vary because if we get a game 5 or 2 game 5s, then we're back for game 5. If not, then we'll see you for the finals. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully, I mean, hopefully, maybe not hopefully, depending on how you look at it. But I'm
Hopefully for
hoping,
you, not
I'm
hopefully for
hoping
me.
we get at least one game 5. So we'll see what happens.
Not me. All right. Make sure you give him a follow at Reichel Radio. Make sure you give him a follow at Reichel Radio. I'm at reallyreal__.
Oh, one
And
thing.
make sure you,
Sorry, one thing. Apologies. I forgot to mention I will be guest hosting for Munaf because he's too popular, I guess. I'll be doing the propcasts at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So if you want some NFL talk, you can hop
hey.
on. Lonte and I will be covering every game, or almost every game, giving out probably like a prop or so per game. I don't know. We're going to try to do it within an hour, but I'll be guest hosting it. So if you want to check that out, you know where to find it.
All right. Scott on the call for the pregame show tomorrow, 11 a.m. I'm going to be there. Make sure you're there too, or be square. All right.
You can hop on if you want. Like you can just pop on the show.
I might. It
Okay.
depends. We'll see. If the Jets don't win, then I probably won't.
Okay.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
I put a lot of money on the Jets. All right. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Oh, Cal just scored. Yes. We're just gonna end it like this. We are out of here.